Hey folks, don't know if anybody's here. This is kind of the first time that I'm going live. I'll wait and see if anybody shows up, I guess. I'm in the hot tent. Hey, I think somebody just joined. Welcome, first person here. 2 people, how's it going? Woodsman Live Chat. I'm in my my hot tent right now. I'm set up in the backyard, so figured I'd, say hi to folks. So thanks for joining. Feel free to throw anything in the chat, I guess, and ask some questions and stuff. I'll just be kind of answering questions and hanging out. I got a few videos that I filmed the last few didn't edit yet, so I'm gonna be doing that soon. But yeah, since I set up the hot tent here, it's just been in the backyard, and we've been using it over like the holidays. So it's really nice to have a place to hang out. I'll give you guys a little bit of a tour too. I'll have to give you guys a bit of a tour. I got a newer wood stove as well for the hot tent. Sam in the Woods asked, okay, I'm new. Where are you at exactly? What part of the nation? So I'm in Canada. I'm up in Alberta. So it's kind of like Western Canada, Rocky Mountains, just north of Montana. And I'm originally from Quebec, so I speak French and English. So sometimes my videos I'm with family and we speak French. But yeah, Alberta, exactly where I am. I'm in Cold Lake. So Cold Lake's like it's northeast. Really cold winters here. We get 4 feet of ice on some of the lakes where people go ice fishing. They can drive on with trucks. It's pretty special. So far this year, it hasn't been that cold. Right now outside, it's like -5. We got like 6 inches of snow. And of course, like this year, it's been a little bit different. We can't travel or really do any kind of gatherings or anything. So that's why I've been kind of more enjoying the backyard and my winter camping setup. This is the new stove that I got. It's a big stove with an oven. And like I said, I'm in my hot tent. It's a canvas tent. This is not a very high quality laptop, so the camera is not very good compared to my usual camera. But yesterday I slept in here with my son Charles. He's 3.5, and my wife. That's what we got. See, the door's open right now. I got another cot over here, and so we got like a rolled up sleeping bag here. And that's the new stove. It's got 4 holes for cooking and whatnot. And then that's my kind of bed and cot. That's why also it's not super nice for quality because it is nighttime. All I'm running off of is a few lights. I have some Christmas lights I gotta plug in actually. So Sam says, I'm in Wisconsin. We've had a mild winter so far. Walking ice, not driving it. Same here. Here, like the smaller lakes, people are starting to drive, but so far it hasn't been really, we haven't hit that -30 yet. We hit -20 Celsius a couple times, but we need like a good week or 2 of -30, and then we're good. I'll just plug in. I got some blue lights here. Like I said, I'm in the backyard. This is pretty much the same setup that I would have in the book. A lot of my videos, I don't have raised beds. I build like a bed just to save on weight, but just because we're in the backyard, I'm trying to make it as comfortable as I can for the family. But like other than that, this is and then that's why I've got electricity, and I'm able to be live because I do some winter camps. So yeah, just feel free to throw some questions or whatever. And Danny Ferland, yeah, I might say a few things in French because I'm French Canadian originally. So if I've got French viewers, just ask French questions and I'll speak in French. But if you want it to go back to English, you better throw an English question. So Danny Ferland says, plus gros poêle égale une plus grosse tente. Yeah, he says a bigger stove, you need a bigger tent. So I'm working on that. I'm trying to order another bigger tent. This tent is a Atuk tent from a guy who makes them in Quebec. C'est une tente Atuk. Puis c'est un gars qui fabrique au Québec. But he's got like so many orders. I called him like 3 weeks ago, and he's just busy. Like people are ordering tents like no tomorrow. Well, nobody can really travel or go down south, so people are trying to enjoy the Canadian winters and the US winters and enjoy basically their hometowns as much as possible. So Haggard says, you got any hot tent or ice fishing in the works? I'm hot tenting mostly in the backyard right now. I'd like to hot tent more like by myself, but like I usually go with my father-in-law. But this year we can't see each other because of the whole situation, I guess. So no traveling. So I'm by myself, trying to spend most of my time like with the family. So I don't want to go out much. So I don't know if I'll go this Christmas. Unfortunately, that's why I'm mostly set up here. Last few videos I did, I was catching some rabbits, and kind of showing that. I did catch a few. I've just been late on my editing, so I showed like how I set the little traps, the little snares, and then the next couple videos that I'll put out will be kind of showing what I catch. And then after that, so I did like the first burn on my wood stove, like the new wood stove now today. So I'll have a video on that. The Great West Metal wood stove. They're made in Manitoba. But so I'll have a video on that. That's a little bit more oriented towards hot tenting. I'm gonna try to do some ice fishing. So we got another few days here, another week of holidays and stuff. So I'll try to get out for sure. Mr. Jesus says, "Yes, show chum." Yes, I am wondering if I should close the door or increase the heat. But the heat output of this thing, like it's crazy. Like you open up the air a bit, and it's just like it gets so warm. Oh. Dupont Viel Martin says, j'ai reçu ma Luminade. Encore merci à toi. Yeah, he saw my video where I was setting up this tent. I got it here actually. That's what I'm using. So one of the viewers he saw that I was using this light. It's pretty handy. So he ordered one. So yeah, elle fonctionne très bien. Je l'aime bien. So maybe I should put it somewhere else and have like a better set. So I guess I'll open up a beer. High Horse White IPA. Hope you guys have a little drink or a tea or a coffee you guys can enjoy. Like thanks for joining me. This is like the first live ever. I'll have to get a better setup, I guess, for the webcam and stuff. But you know what? I think it's good right now to just chat and kind of interact with people. So hi, hey Govinda, how's it going? Martin, Merci de te joindre à moi, Mr. Zazu. Merci. Yes, va rester au show. So Haggard, he always liked my hot tenting videos. I try to do like trips, but like I said, this year it's tough to do just by yourself. I gotta try to do at least a couple. But I did a camp with the hammock about a week ago. Not a week, but about a month ago, with the hammock and my friend John and James. That was before more of like more restrictions came in, so we're a bit more allowed to do like exterior or outdoor social gatherings because we don't live in the same address. But HUPA, bonsoir, Nomadic Woodsman, bonne année. Yes, bonne année. Happy New Year, folks. December 26th, so we're past Christmas, so Happy New Year. Hope everybody enjoyed their Christmas and ate lots of turkey. I ate too much. Yeah, appreciate you guys coming here and hanging out. Like, if you got questions, go ahead. Like, I don't mind if you guys are tired or find me boring or whatever. I won't be super entertaining. Like, I'll just be chatting and kind of showing kind of some stuff. And so right now the temperature outside, I could check, but it's not very cold right now. It's like -5, I believe. I'll go check. I'll Google here. Cold Lake, Alberta. That's where I am. Cold Lake. Cold Lake. We have a military base here. It's pretty northern area. Yeah, -8, and it's supposed to go down to -12, so it's not very cold. So Haggard's asking if I cooked the rabbits up. So I got two that I skinned. I got them in the freezer. The third one, I got it. It's just in the garage, so I gotta skin it yet. We did like a really big turkey for the 24th, and it's just the three of us eating that. So we got lots of meat, and then Isabel, my wife, she cooked a delicious, we call it a ragout. It's like a stew, like a meatball stew, I guess. Super good. But like, we got like big pots, so I'm gonna wait a little bit for the rabbits. I'm gonna probably do a maple syrup snowshoe hare, so my family would always kind of do that. And then so I didn't cook them up yet. And then we'll probably do a meat pie as well, probably around New Year's Eve. I think that'll be a good New Year's Eve little project. Bon, bien, Martin. Pour les poêles à bois, tu recommandes un style pliable ou un non pliable pour le camping? And then, Jeff, what type of hot tent do you have? My hot tent is an ATIC. See, I'll write it down here. ATIC Kanguk model. It's 10 feet by 10 feet. Pour la poêle, style pliable ou un non pliable pour le camping? J'ai pas essayé des tonnes de poêles. Je peux parler pour ceux que moi j'ai. Moi, j'aime ça non pliable. So he's asking what type of wood stove. I'm gonna just close the door. He's asking what kind of wood stove that I would use or recommend, if like a foldable one or not foldable. So I haven't tried any foldables like Johnny. Non pliable, c'est moins de pièces, c'est moins de troubles. Je trouve, moi j'aime bien ça. Il est déjà prêt à partir. La seule chose que j'ai à gosser, c'est de monter ma cheminée. puis mettre mes briques dedans ou mon fond. Puis c'est déjà assez de trouble là, quand il fait froid, à moins 25, moins 30, et c'est dur de gosser des pièces. Je suis sûr qu'il y en a qui se déplient facilement et que ça va bien, mais je les ai pas essayés. So when it's like really cold, I don't want to be fooling around with little pieces and trying to like mount a foldable stove. I already have to fool around with the chimney, which is already a lot of fine kind of motor skills. So I like a non-foldable one, but I'm sure there's some good foldable ones that are quick to mount. It'd just be a matter of getting used to it. Fait que ça, faut juste s'habituer. Je suis sûr qu'il y en a des bons pliables qu'il faut s'habituer à monter. Pour le nombre d'espace que ça prend, pliable ou pas pliable, moi j'apporte un traîneau, fait que je peux apporter plus de stock dans le traîneau. With a sled, you can bring more stuff than in a backpack. Like if it's not too cold, and you can like bring your wood stove in your backpack, and then have you know, a smaller tent and it's not too cold, like that would work good. I just never invested in that. J'ai jamais investi comme dans un setup plus petit, pliable. Mais ce que je voulais dire, c'est que même s'il n'est pas pliable, quand tu le mets dans un traîneau, moi je mets la cheminée dans le poêle, puis je mets les poêlons, puis les chaudrons, puis tu sais, tu peux mettre du stock dans ton poêle. Fait que finalement, tu sais, l'espace, même s'il n'est pas plié, le stock que tu mets dedans, tu n'as pas besoin de le mettre ailleurs. So even if like your wood stove's not foldable, you can put pots, you can put pans, you can put lots of stuff in there. So with a sled, you know, you put a lot of stuff. I put the chimney as well. The wood stove that I have, this one is a bigger wood stove. I'm not sure yet how the chimneys will fit and stuff, but my Nyko, all the pieces fit in there, no problem. The whole chimney, because it's telescopic, so it fits like all one inside the other, and then you just throw it in there. What type of hop tent? What size tent is that, and what size tent are you getting? So this one here is a 10 by 10, 10 feet by 10 feet. I don't know if you were there when I kind of showed, but I got 3 cots. I just got to open up the air a bit to get some heat. So this one's a 10 by 10. I got 3 cots, the wood stove, and there's a little bit of an alley like in the center that you can walk, but it's pretty tight. Like you can't, it's good for like 2 people, like you're really comfortable, but 3 people, like you're starting to push it with a 10 by 10. Like here now, I have like raised beds, so you can put stuff. Like I got a lot of like I got wood, I got like under the bed, so I got wood. Like I got like a bunch of gear. I got like lots of stuff, and I got a little table back there. This is like a 10 by 10, so. And then see like the door here, like there's no walking space with the door. You basically need the other, keep the door open, and then you can use the door. But what I like about this tent is it's a 10 by 10, so I could roll it, and it's about the size, if you see my videos, it's about the size of a sleeping bag, heavier than a sleeping bag. It's like 20 pounds, but it pulls up this big. And then with the other wood stove, the other wood stove that I have, that's just another 20 pounds. So it's a good, like in a sled, you can't bring it in a backpack, but in a sled, you can bring everything pretty easily. The next one that I'm upgrading to is to be 3 or maybe more people, because with my son now, we're starting to really enjoy it. We want him to be like comfortable, not, you know, just, you know, we want it to be like more like a house almost. Like it's not as much of a backcountry setup. It's going to be more of a front country. So I'm looking at a 12 by 15 probably, or a 12 by 17 foot. So it's not going to be that much big, but there'll be more room to get more away from the stove. And then there'll be a little bit more room to put, like, if you want to put a chair, or if every individual person wants like a little table. Because for eating, it's nice if you have your raised bed and a little small table. Or you could bring like a bigger table, like, so there'll be a little bit more options that way for kind of furniture or extras. Well, like this 10 by 10, like we've used it now. Like yesterday, Charles actually slept in the tent. I'm working on a little video on that. It was his first night sleeping. My son, he's 3, and it worked good. Like, and we're comfortable. So yeah, that's the size, 10 by 10. Est-ce que tu es au milieu d'une forêt? Si oui. En ce moment, je suis pas au milieu de la forêt. Je suis seulement comme proche de chez nous. C'est pour ça que j'ai du Wi-Fi et je suis capable de faire un live. Mais non, j'ai aucune crainte pour les animaux. Je prends les précautions normales, dans le fond, pour les ours. Tu fais attention avec la nourriture et tout. Mais l'hiver, les ours, ils sont principalement couchés. So someone's asking if I'm afraid of animals, if I'm like camping in the woods or whatever. But I'm not. Like, for bears, I just your normal precautions. You keep your food away, keep your site clean, and look for signs and stuff. Souvent, comme dans les forêts, je garde mon campement propre, tout ça, puis ma bouffe propre. Mais tu sais, dans les forêts où il n'y a pas de gens, les ours sont pas habitués d'être attirés, tu sais, par les humains ou rien. Normalement, ils ont peur, puis ils restent dans leur coin. C'est sûr qu'il faut prendre des précautions, mais moi, j'ai pas de crainte. J'ai plus de crainte des gens. S'il y a du monde, tu sais, des malfaiteurs, des criminels, des choses comme ça. J'ai plus peur de ça, du monde bizarre. Malheureusement, c'est ça pareil. Mais les animaux, j'ai pas peur. C'est sûr que tu sais, j'ai un moyen de communication, tu sais, je m'apporte des choses quand même de sécurité, je fais attention, tout ça. Mais j'ai pas peur, pour dire. So I'm not afraid. Like, I bring like communication devices and stuff like that if there is an emergency. Like, there's other things you got to be aware of. Tu sais, les ours, c'est un risque, oui, mais tu sais, il y a beaucoup d'autres risques en forêt. Tu sais, il y a le risque de la noyade, le risque d'avoir froid, le risque de glisser, le risque d'être malade, le risque. Fait que c'est un risque, oui, mais tu sais, comme dans la vie aussi, comme surtout en ce moment, tu sais, il y a des risques tout le temps, tu sais. Fait que c'est une gestion du risque. C'est André-François Bourbeau. Il en parle beaucoup, la gestion du risque, puis tout ça. Fait que je pense que les ours, c'est ça aussi. So it's kind of a risk. Animals is a risk, but there's other risks as well, like, drowning, getting cold, your gear breaking, getting injured, an axe or a cut or something like that. So you got to be aware of the risks and manage the risks, but that shouldn't stop you from enjoying, the things that you love. You got to do it like safely. But so bears, not too afraid. Dynamically fantastic. What was set up? Merci. YCPP. Great to see you doing a live chat. I think the cot is a big help in the tent. Sled is great idea. Yeah, like with the cots, and what really brought it home to me is was it last year? No, it was the year before actually. I did a test to see really the heat where it was in the tent. And on the ground, like, it was about minus 20. And on the ground, we kept it at, like, it was 0 degrees. Like, you can heat up as much as you want the wood stove, the heat rises. So on the ground, it was always around like the freezing point, 0 degrees. which is still a lot better than -20, like with the tent and the wood stove and stuff. But then already like like on a raised bed area, it was like 10, 15, and then height here where I am, it's like 20, and then up standing, you're at like 35, 40 degrees, like it's intolerable standing. But that's kind of how the heat goes. And then yesterday I tried it in here with a fan too, and that helps to kind of change that that different kind of level. But what the hell was I talking about? Oh yeah, the cots. So the cots. It really like it's really something that's really helpful, like to have a sitting spot, and then another thing like just a little table to cook. Like if you got stuff to cut, like this morning I was cooking breakfast, you want to cut like an English muffin or whatever, at least you have a nice spot. Or you want to make coffee, you're sitting, you're comfortable. You don't want to be like on the ground. Like it's good if you're there for a night or two, but it's nice to set it up, be comfortable for a longer time or even a night or two. But that was the thing, like you want to have a good night's sleep and have a good time. So d'accord, je comprends. Merci beaucoup. Tes commentaires sont vraiment très utiles. Je n'ai pas beaucoup d'expérience encore. Tu es un modèle pour moi. Ah ben merci, j'apprécie beaucoup. C'est pour ça que je fais des vidéos pour essayer de partager. Je suis pas, j'ai de l'expérience, tu sais, je suis pas un pro. Mais when surfers asking what I'm saying, I'm trying to like say both languages, but yeah, so I do speak French, so it's French language and English. So I'm from Quebec originally, in Quebec in Canada. For those who are not familiar with Canada, Quebec is more of a French-speaking province, so it's very much actually French. It's almost all French. Like there's some English in different languages, but I'd say it's like 90% or more French. Everything's French. Like you go there, you're driving, the signs will be French, like everything's French. But elsewhere in Canada, it's mostly English. Not saying though that there's no French in the other provinces. The province where I am right now is Alberta, and when I was in Quebec before, I thought like the rest of like Canada was all English or mostly. But no, like it's really surprising to see all the little communities that still do speak French and that are very proud of their French heritage. Because back historically, like in the 1600s, 1700s, with the fur trade, a lot of French settlers, they moved west, and there was trading posts for fur trading and stuff like all over Canada. There was even some like down south, which is now the United States. But there wasn't like a very big population, so they didn't like. There are still some small settlements and stuff, like mostly Canada. I'm not sure about US. Like I haven't seen that much French in the US, unfortunately. But so I'm French Canadian. I'm from Quebec, and I do put subtitles in my videos, and I do a few French videos as well. So I have a lot of people who are from Quebec and kind of enjoy that the French. So yeah, he sounds Canadian. Yup, yeah. Bilingual audience, bilingual answers. I wish I had that kind of skill. Thank you. I'm Saskatchewan Bears. We're not a worry in the winter. Jeff saying not a worry in the winter. Yeah, like winter, they're sleeping. The other animals like squirrels and fox try to get into food. Yeah, I had that before. The worst places I find is where like there's a lot of people that go there, so the animals get some bad habits and they get more trusty. But if they're your areas where they're not used to that human food, then they're not gonna be coming as much. So but yeah, like foxes and squirrels, like they're not really dangerous. Although fox can carry rabies. So that's a thing that's good to know. Like some mammals do have rabies and some types of illnesses that they could have, but it's just a thing. Like if you get bit, you got to go get checked or tested. But it's not like it's it's not gonna happen. Like it's yeah, like it might happen, but I mean the chances are like 0.001% that happens. Isabel and Charles are coming to meet me in the tent, so we'll see that we'll speak French. We'll see how it goes, but it's gonna be kind of distracting. But say hi. Viens, chat. Tu veux aller dans la petite tente? La toute petite tente. He's saying the small tent. He's coming in the small tent. Yeah, he slept in here yesterday, so. What? Quebec Homestead, Mallory. Hey, she does a lot of live streams. I don't usually do live streams, but thanks for just checking in and saying hi. How cold is it? And so it's only like -8 right now Celsius. In the tent, it's like 20. I got the wood stove in here, so there's no issues. I can bring it up to 40, 45. So, French language in Canada, beer gave it away, yeah. Hey, brother, hope you had a happy holiday. Hey, Yankees, how's it going? Thanks for showing up. So, Quebec Homestead, she's kind of says she's in Quebec, but she's American from U.S. My dream country is Canada, even it's too cold. We're about in Alberta. I'm in Alberta, so in Cold Lake, Alberta in the northeast. I'm kind of 3.5 hours from Edmonton. So teacher is salut Suzanne, teacher SVD. Hi there Steve, salut. Bonne soirée. Je suis installé dans ma tente, mais on est dans la cour arrière. Fait que on est super confortable. Là, j'essaye mon nouveau poêle. Night, my friend. Have a good night. Good night, Mal. See ya. Bonne nuit. Hello, teacher. How cold is it? Yeah, it's -8 outside. 20. Great job going back and forth from French to English and translating. Is it cold? It's cold. Oh, it's not bad. If you eat wild animals, you should cook properly. Many hours to boil so you can't get illness. Yeah, that's true. Like there's certain degrees you gotta get to. It's like a lot of meats now. Like I would say, like meat. Depending, like there's different animals that could be worse, and different parts of animals that could be worse. But yeah, you don't want to go raw for sure. Like you gotta cook it. So, if I'm in the forces, nope, I'm not in the forces. Hi, HUBE. Going good. It's good to see ya. Yeah, Cold Lake, we have a Canadian Forces base, and we do have a lot of French Canadians that come here because it's in Cold Lake and Bagotville, which is in Quebec. Those are the two kind of more Air Force bases. And like I said, in Bagotville, Quebec, that's French, so they get moved around. In Cold Lake, we come here. But I'm not in the forces. Going good. It's good to see ya. Yes, good to see ya. Thanks for showing up. Isa et Charles sont avec toi. Danny Ferland, il est là. Ah oui, c'est ton parrain. Tu veux leur dire salut? Et là, il y a comme 19. Ben non, c'est pas grave.
Salut! Charles est déçu, il voulait dormir dans la chambre d'été.
Wants to sleep in the smaller tent that we use in the summer, but I'm sure we'd set it up and then he'd change his mind pretty quick because that's cool. But it's more of a fun type thing for him to just go in the tent. But yeah,
Salut! Joyeux Noël!
Nice ways to pass time with your family during the holidays. I wish I could do the
On
same.
a apporté des jeux. On a apporté des beaux jeux. Un beau livre.
Take care of the family a bit. But yeah, you want coffee, but it's not a tea, un café, quelque chose? Okay. Perfect. She wants a coffee or a tea, so I can show you guys kind of my setup and show you. Actually, I think I might be pretty close to out of water. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So I got like a bigger pot, and that's what I carry, like a lot of water in there. But she's dry now. So it's nice to have like a lot of water that's not necessarily boiling, but warm. And then when you want like a quick boil, you transfer it in the small kettle, so you get it boil really quickly. I have enough for like a tea, so. The thing with these stoves, so I'm just putting it on this side. Is that so this stove, so this side is the firebox. So you build your fire in there, and that's where it's going to get warmest. Will be the top on that side. This side is all sealed, and it's basically an oven. So there's no fire. But if you want to bake like cookies or bread or whatever, or bacon, you can throw it in the oven. And then the thing too is the circles that are on top, the holes. You can take the black off and then put the kettle right in there, and that'll increase the speed at which that'll boil, because there's no intermediate metal to your. It's just gonna be directly heat. So, hello, salut, April Z, hi. Have you see cool? Don't you have snow in your backyard? I have snow. I had there's only like 3 inches of snow, 4 inches. But I had 19th, and I had to put the tent up and sleep in it, so I put it up or the 26th. So yeah, it's been a week now, and we just come in the evening and hang out, have a tea and coffee and cook some stuff, and it's just kind of like, or for breakfast too. So the snow melted pretty quick. À bien, bonne nuit, chum de Gatineau, Québec. Yes, bonne nuit, merci beaucoup. Puis le gros poil. fait que, so the fire can pretty much go everywhere instead of like in here. In here it can't go there because it's all sealed stove. But the thing when you want to boil water is that the thing when you want to boil water, like you got to get the heat up, and then it gets unbearable in the tent. It's just so it's nice when it's colder, like -8, it's too warm. Or you can open up like you can, if you're doing like a big meal or whatever, you can open up the door, and then you're good. You can heat up lots, and even if it's smoking or like you get a bacon order or whatever, your door's open. Fait que quand tu veux faire un gros repas, tu ouvres la porte de la tente, là tu peux chauffer en masse. Fait que là, tu sais, t'es correct, là, t'as pas trop chaud. Mais quand tu fais juste comme relaxer dans la tente, c'est plus de trouble parce que il fait chaud. Faut encore que je m'habitue avec it. I don't have an actual plan or an actual entertainment team here. It's just me and the tent. So, bien, bonne nuit. L'image est gelée, je te laisse have fun. On t'a perdu un certain temps, donc pas vu ta réponse. Hi. Oh non, vous m'avez perdu. Le poêle est pas vraiment divisé en deux. Le poêle, t'as comme le côté que c'est le feu. Le feu peut aller pas mal partout dans le poêle, excepté dans le cube qui est soudé. Like in fait que la chaleur, il faut qu'elle parte de là et qu'elle s'en aille partout. Et que ça en aille dans la cheminée. So the chimney is like opposite side of the actual wood box or the fire box. So the heat and the smoke and stuff have to go around the oven and then have to go up and then sideways to the chimney. But the oven itself is all sealed, so there's no fire or no smoke that'll go in the oven. But it's not really like completely divided. Like the heat has to go around the oven. Donc la chaleur, il faut qu'elle fasse le tour du four, mais c'est pas vraiment comme divisé en deux comme un four qui est à côté. Il est vraiment intégré à l'intérieur. That's why I sleep in the nude, yeah, because it gets warm. La nuit, quand le poêle fonctionne, est-ce qu'il y a un risque plus ou moins élevé de monoxyde de carbone? Faut-il prendre des précautions particulières? Ça a coupé 4 minutes environ. Ah non, ça a coupé comme 4 minutes de temps. Compris, j'avais pas vu, c'était un four. Ouais, c'est ça, c'est un four l'autre bord. So someone's asking for carbon monoxide, if there's any risk in the tent. Pour le monoxyde de carbone, il n'y a aucun danger dans la tente que j'ai. Il y a un trou d'aération en haut, puis la tente, c'est faite en coton. Donc, c'est respirant. C'est un coton respirant. La toile est respirante. Dans le bas, c'est jamais vraiment scellé. Puis dans le haut, j'ai un trou d'aération. Puis la porte avec le zipper, tout ça, ça peut respirer pareil. Mais quand t'as chaud, je vais te le montrer. So, there's aeration. This is the center of the door. So you can leave that open for air if you're stressed out about carbon monoxide. But the tarp itself is a breathable cotton, like it's a natural cotton. So it's a breathable material. It's not like a plastic kind of thing. So you can't. C'est pas comme un plastique, c'est un coton respirant. Tu peux quand même penser. So and there's the air hole on the other side. I don't know if you'll see it there, but the way it's designed is that there's an air hole. Where is it? Side avec la chaleur. Il y a un velcro, so there's a velcro that helps with the heat. It's a little hole and the airflow as well. But so like if you're stressed out about carbon monoxide, you want more fresh air, then you have that option. Like le poêle, quand le poêle il fonctionne bien, la boucane puis tout ça, ça va pas mal tout par la cheminée. Il y a pas de mauvaises choses. So the chimney too, like when you got a good setup, there's good pull and there's no smoke or anything that's coming in the tent. Or if there is smoke, then you just open your air there. Tu ouvres tes trous d'aération tout. You open your air holes, and then there's in years like the cotton. That's what they use like back in the day. Like you know what I mean? Like historically, that's what they use. Historiquement, c'est ça qu'ils utilisaient des tentes en coton tout ça. Peut-être qu'il y avait des problèmes dans le temps, mais je pense pas. Le gars, Guy, il faudrait que je lui demande, mais il fait des tentes depuis, je pense, 1996. Puis, j'ai jamais entendu dire qu'il y a eu de problème ou rien. So the guy that I bought this tent from, he makes them since like I think 1996 or something, and I don't think there's any issues. But you know, if you're doing, I don't cook. Moi, je cuisine pas avec comme de quoi au propane, quoi que ce soit non plus. So I don't cook with like propane. or anything like that does pull out, carbon monoxide. But I just cook with the wood stove. So we got a rolling boil on the kettle. So you want tea or coffee? With tea, cafe? Yeah, I have chamomile tea. No? Oh no, she wants coffee, but that'll take like double the time. I can show my AeroPress, but I don't have much water for coffee. Tea? I feel disappointment. So I got an AeroPress and it makes like really, really good coffee. But yeah, we'll start with the tea and then, or do you want coffee or do you want tea? Tu veux du thé ou du café? She wants coffee, so if she wants coffee, we'll make coffee. But well, no, I'll make one. Bon, il n'y a pas vraiment de questions, fait qu'on va passer à l'étape du café. Ok. Take this off. So I got this AeroPress. It's a travel coffee. It's a thing to make coffee for travelers, I guess. You get it from like Mountain Equipment Co-op or like places where they have like outdoor stuff. This is basically it. So AeroPress. My friend John from Bear Lake Bushcraft, he's the one who kind of showed me this, and it makes really, really good coffee. So you unscrew this. So I had old coffee and a filter in there from the last time. So I'm gonna get rid of that. So how it works, so this is like, you can put like pressure and then it filters and the filter, but anyways, so beer. Okay, so this is her coffee thing. Gotta make a little bit more room on the table. Un peu plus de place sur la table. And so this part, you need to put these little circular round is anybody still here? Like, are you guys still there? Just to see if it didn't cut out again, because I don't see like any more comments or anything. C'est encore du monde qui sont là, ben ça a coupé. Je sais pas. Ok, bon, il y a du monde. Ok, there's people there. Perfect. Ah oui? Vas-y sur YouTube, tu vas me voir. Ouais, c'est direct sur YouTube. She's asking if it's... No, I didn't, like, j'allais pas annoncer. I didn't announce my live. I just... Screw it, I'm going live. Go. That's the best. Sometimes those are the best parties or the best ideas. That you're just like, what the hell? Let's go and do it. Sometimes when you plan too much, it kind of gets heavy. Okay, a circular piece of paper, which is a coffee filter. This goes in that there like that, and then it just screws in. Boom. Ça s'installe là, ça se visse. Screws in, ça se visse. Visser, screw. Visser, screw. Screw in French, visser. See, we might have learned something today. Une fois la chambre à bois bien remplie, as-tu l'idée de le tourner avant de devoir mettre d'autres bûches? Oui, oui. Je dirais comme avec mon autre poêle, mon Ico Alaskan. Celui-là, je l'ai pas encore bien essayé. Mais je remplis bien. Mon Ico Alaskan, c'était 12 pouces par 12 pouces par 24 pouces de profond. Je le remplissais pas mal full. Puis j'étais correct, je te dirais 4 heures, 5 heures. So I was good about like 4 or 5 hours full of wood. But it depends on the quality of wood that you have. Fait que ça dépend aussi de la qualité de bois que t'as. Puis comment petit qui est fendu. Tu sais, si t'as une belle bûche comme de parfaitement séchée, tout ça, tu pourrais probablement te rendre à comme 8 heures avec. So if you have like a nice birch piece that's like perfectly dry and stuff, you could probably with it. But you know, that's not usually what you have. Like usually we have like more smaller pieces or stuff that's not like dry or whatever. And sometimes it chokes out. Fait que des fois, c'est ton bois est pas nécessairement bon, c'est plus des petits morceaux, il est pas sec ou quoi que ce soit. Ça soit une grosse bûche pour essayer d'avoir de l'autonomie. Mais finalement, j'ai tout étouffé, puis le feu est mort, puis ça a juste duré comme un an ou deux, tu sais. Fait qu'il y a comme un, tu sais, c'est comme si tu mets du bois trop gros pour essayer d'avoir une plus grosse économie. Mais encore là, il faut que tu aies une bonne couche de braise, tu sais. Fait, fait que, tu sais, c'est comme, tu sais, the point, like, on a point, we got a wood stove in the house, and it's like a super highly performing wood stove. Like these stoves, like you pay like $200-300 for them, you know, and the seals are not perfect. Like, tu payes 200-300$ pour ces poêles-là, puis le seal, puis tout ça est pas parfait, tu sais. Mais ceux comme dans la maison, que tu payes des milliers de dollars, ça, le seal est plus parfait, tu peux mettre plus de bois, ça va durer 8 heures, 12 heures, 8 heures, 10 heures, tu sais, comme si t'as du bon bois. Mais pas ces poils-là, tu sais. Peut-être, peut-être, si t'as du bon bois, puis comme tu connais bien ton poil. Mais, mais moi, en tout cas, j'ai pas réussi à avoir. Okay. So going back to the coffee. Think about coffee. Okay. So you just grab your coffee, you throw it in there. So you throw it basically in this part that you screwed on. Throw it in here. And then you put it, it's gonna drip in the pot in the cup directly. Throw your water. Not much water in there, but it's gonna be enough for at least one coffee. And then you can wait for it to go down, like you can kind of see it, like it's transparent. So it goes down. Fait que vous voyez comme le café qui filtre naturellement dans le fil, juste avec la. Dans le fond, c'est juste avec la pression. Gravité normale de la planète. So the planet's normal gravity is what's pushing it down. But with this is you can accelerate it because you're gonna push the air down and put some weight on it. So you just accelerate it. It's kind of like a little bit like a French press, but not really. Oh, that worked out good. I got like just enough water for a full coffee. That's pretty much it. Like you got your brew is done. You add your sugar and your milk. I'll see if I have milk left. What's nice about these tents too, that underneath, like around the tent, ce qui est cool aussi, c'est que t'as comme des frigidaires en dessous de la tent. So like underneath, around the tent, it's like a fridge, like because you got stove, and like I mentioned earlier, like the heat doesn't really go to the bottom, so it's always around like 0 degrees, which is a fridge temperature. Fait que, tu sais, c'est comme toujours frais à terre, c'est comme un frigidaire. So you can keep milk and beer in here, and it won't really, like, it might freeze if it's really cold, but overall, like right now, it's just perfect. It's cool. So it can work as either a drip coffee maker or an espresso press. Nice. Yeah, like pretty much, like it works as both. There's a bunch of different things you can do, like on their website, aeropress.com, and different like techniques. But yeah, like it's initially when you first what it is just like a drip coffee maker. But then, but then, but then, yeah, like you press like so. This one I just did one shot, but then you can add more water and then do like 2 shots, or you can do less water and just pressure, I guess. But I haven't explored like all the different ways to do it. I just do it like a simple way right now. But it's cool. Like it's a nice thing to have. Let's find some milk. Should be underneath here somewhere. So how you guys been? Like you guys been hanging on? Like you guys been having a decent Christmas holiday type thing? Have you been working hard? I can't find it. Oh, there it is. There's your coffee. Coffee in the tent. That's basically what we've been doing like the last, I guess already like the last 5 days. We've just been coming in here and making some coffees and stuff. Here. So, well, I guess we've been here for an hour now. Should I end it? Like, do you guys have any questions? Do you guys enjoy this? I guess we got, still 10 people. If you guys want me to keep going. Isabel says we should keep going. Like it's pretty late. Like it's 9:20, but I guess if you wanna watch, you can watch and hang out with us. We're gonna put some music. Ding, 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 ding. C'est quoi what's the song? C'est quoi la tune? En l'an 2033, oh, any good stories of particularly harrowing good stories of harrowing. Yes and no. Like this last summer, me and my father-in-law, like they were able to come, and like we did like a canoe camping, and the lake where we were, it's called like Mary Lake in here near Cold Lake in Alberta. It's a pretty big lake, and it was like super windy, and like big waves. Like these waves were like 3-4 feet high, and like it was sketchy. Like I didn't really want to go across, but like there was no campsites really like on the launch side. We had to go across the lake. Like thinking of it now, I probably should have like identified smaller lakes where we could have camped, but I did have other lakes too, but they were a lot farther. So anyways, we decided anyways to go across the lake, but like the waves were bad. Like it took us like a lot of energy to get across. And like if we would have tipped, like that would not have been good, like in the canoe. So that was kind of like sketchy. Um, and you got to like, you know, feel kind of like where your risk is and like where you're willing to go. Like we're both experienced paddlers, and we had like the right angle with the waves and stuff, so we're lucky like everything went well. But like it wasn't the best. But no, like overall, like stuff's been like I've been like pretty lucky overall. Like I don't know, like bonne année, happy New Year, thank you. Somebody should be melting snow for coffee tea. Yeah, I should probably go get some snow or some water and get some going in the bigger pot. But I still have beer though, and I'd rather drink beer and just hang out, stay in the warmth. But yeah, we should. Yeah. Um. Yeah, like with bears, like I've had a few close encounters, like with bears, but it was mostly because they were in areas where you didn't really want them to go. Like they were coming in like work camps or things like getting into, mostly it would be like garbage, or they would be getting into more like roadside garbage and stuff. So like they would be scared and they'd be coming and stuff. Those were kind of sketchy and close encounters, and sometimes you had to like scare them off and stuff. But that was not really like way out in the wilderness, like, or I wasn't really on a trip. Like I was mostly like working or something. So, oh, Ariane, salut Ariane. M'écris un commentaire en français, puis je vais parler en français. Si vous voulez que je parle en français, il faut vous parler en français. Apparently there's, you know, our friends are online and they don't speak English. They're like, oh, I'm online, but I can't understand. He only speaks English. I don't understand. So I said, well, put some French comments and then I can speak French. I'll have a good excuse to speak French. But es-tu encore en ligne?
Mais c'est pas grave, il y a quelqu'un ici qui est là pour.
Ah! Français! En français. Bon, ben, on fait une petite passe en français. Je vais aller chercher de la neige. Je pense que I'm gonna go get some snow. Unless. Oh, mais tout est à. Ouais, Charles est tranquille. Ou ben, va chercher de l'eau. Puis, on va en avoir pour un autre 2 jours. On a pour peut-être 2 jours d'eau, comme dans cette cruche-là. Il y a 4 litres. Puis ça, c'est des potes là, qui sont vraiment intéressants. Ça, c'est. Je sais pas si vous connaissez Morse Kohansky, c'est un auteur, puis il est décédé l'année passée, mais il vivait en Alberta. Puis Morse Kohansky, il a écrit le livre Bushcraft. Puis le livre Bushcraft, c'est comme, il y a plein d'informations sur comme la vie en forêt, la survie en forêt, les abris, ces choses-là. C'est intéressant, c'est vraiment terminé pour la forêt boréale. Ça bat pas, ben, c'est différent, tu sais, comme, j'allais comparer un peu avec le livre d'André-François Bourbeau sur Vuitton, qui est comme mon livre préféré, là. Fait que, tu sais, c'est comme dans le même genre un peu, sauf que c'est pas comme une histoire de survie comme le surviton. C'est plus des techniques, axées sur les techniques, c'est plus juste des techniques, tu sais. Mais en tout cas, c'est en anglais. Morse Cohancy Bushcraft, Northern Bushcraft. Mais Morse, il y a un YouTube aussi qui s'appelait Karamat Wilderness Ways. Puis ici, Karamat, il donne des cours en Alberta de Bushcraft et de survie. Mais en tout cas, il y a un pote que Morse, il a comme, pas sûr s'il a comme dessiné ou il a comme dit, bon, ça, c'est les caractéristiques intéressantes d'un pot, tu sais, comme un bush pot, c'est un pot pour la survie, pour aller en forêt, puis tout ça. C'est comme ça, sauf qu'il est plus gros un peu. Mon autre, je l'utilise tout le temps, puis ça, c'est le vrai Morse bush pot. Il est comme en aluminium, puis il est 1,8 litres. Fait que c'est pour une personne. Puis là, je m'en vais avec mon histoire, c'est que les caractéristiques, c'est que tu as un arceau sur le dessus. Fait que tu peux l'accrocher au-dessus d'un feu avec un pot hanger. Dans le livre de Morse, il y a toutes sortes de façons comment faire des pot hangers. Et un pot hanger, c'est un accroche-pot. Fait que c'est comme pour accrocher ton pot au-dessus du feu. Fait que ça, c'est comme une caractéristique intéressante. Après ça, tu as la poignée aussi qui est comme sur le côté. Fait que tu peux le prendre, tu sais, sans le brûler. Puis, il se plie comme ça. Fait que tu peux le transporter. Ça, c'est 4 litres. Fait que c'est une dimension plus intéressante pour un groupe de comme 2 ou 3 personnes. Mais 1,5 à 1,8 litres, c'est plus comme une personne. Puis Morse, il disait, si tu jeûnes, donc si tu es comme en survie et tu n'as comme rien à manger, ben, le matin, tu bouilles de l'eau puis tu bois comme 1,5 litres d'eau bouillie. Puis tu peux mettre des plantes, des herbes dedans puis des plantes comestibles, pas n'importe quelle plante, tu sais. Fait que ça te fait au moins quelque chose à digérer puis ça garde ton système, ça t'hydrate, tu sais. Ça, c'est un full pot, là. Là, on va aller chercher. Peux-tu apporter le Morse Bush Pot? Ah, pas obligé. Fait que ça, c'est comme. Mais comme dans le même ordre d'idée, tu sais, comme ça, c'est des petites théières un peu de camping qui vendent, tu sais. Mais c'est comme petit un peu, tu sais, c'est une personne, tu sais. Comme dans le temps, à l'époque, le monde avait des théières, puis c'était ça, c'était pour aller sur le poêle à bois, puis c'était pour la famille, tu sais, mais tu sais, c'était une vraie théière, là, tu sais, c'était pas du niaisage, là, c'était une vraie théière, tu sais, puis tu pouvais faire de l'eau, tu sais, ça valait la peine d'aller descendre au lac, à la rivière, de pogner de l'eau, puis remonter, tu sais, t'avais comme probablement un 2 litres là-dedans, tu sais, qui contenait. Tandis que ça, tu sais, c'est tellement petit comme si t'as moindrement, tu sais, que t'as comme un demi-litre là-dedans, fait que tu sais, tu vas pas loin avec un demi-litre, tu sais. Fait que c'est fun d'avoir un pot plus gros que quand tu fais un voyage d'eau, t'as de l'eau, tu sais, Tu sais, ça dépend de ton style, puis comme qu'est-ce que tu fais aussi, là. Moi, je suis plus du genre vie en forêt ou plus technique comme traditionnel, puis plus bushcraft. Je suis pas vraiment comme un randonneur là, ultra léger avec tout ce qui est comme high-tech. J'aime ça aussi, tu sais, je trouve que ça prend un bon compromis comme entre les deux. Mais moi, je trippe plus avec des techniques plus ancestrales, des choses qui se rapprochent comme plus aux techniques autochtones, là, au savoir tout autochtone, puis des techniques plus coureurs des bois, tout ça. Là. Mais c'est ça c'est des pots qui sont intéressants. Le Morse Bush Pot, j'avais entendu dire qu'il ne le fabriquait plus parce qu'il est comme en aluminium. Il est comme, ben, c'est pas pour ça qu'ils le font plus, je pense. Je ne sais pas s'il n'y avait pas assez de demandes ou quoi. Mais il est plus difficile à trouver. Et c'est vraiment un bon pot. 4 ans, 3-4 ans. Puis il est tout noir, puis en tout cas, mais tu sais, il va bien. Puis ceux-là, celui-là, c'est ça s'appelle, la compagnie, c'est Solo Stove. Puis, c'est ça, eux autres, c'est en stainless steel. Ça, c'est intéressant aussi. Et tu sais, mon père avait au chalet des grosses chaudières. Ça ressemblait pas mal à ça, tu sais, ça devait être 6 litres ou tu sais. Puis t'avais un arceau sur le dessus, puis un couvercle, puis tu sais, tout en métal. Mais aujourd'hui, comme je trouve que c'est dur à trouver de quoi qui est tout en métal, puis qui est fait pour aller dans un feu ou aller, tu sais, sur un poêle à bois. Tu sais, t'as toujours des morceaux de plastique, parce que c'est tout designé, tu sais, la clientèle de cuisine est plus, tu sais, c'est plus axé vers les choses électroniques, tu sais, puis il n'y a pas de danger, tu sais, avec le plastique, tout ça. C'est pas mal. T'en as, et tu peux en trouver, mais tu vas payer une fortune quand c'est des choses spécialisées, fabriquées en France ou en Italie, vraiment vraiment pour les feux comme propane, tout ça, tu sais, quand c'est comme en cuivre, tout ça, tu sais, je trouve ça vraiment cool. J'aimerais ça comme d'en avoir, mais tu sais, comme la moyenne des gens, puis tu sais, comme moi, je veux pas me payer ça, surtout si j'amène ça dans le bois, puis tu sais, je vois tout comme le briser, là. Mais en tout cas. Anyways, that was kind of a speech on the Morse Butch pot and different kind of sizes and characteristics of pots that are interesting. And pots are an item that is always underestimated. Donc les pots puis les chaudrons, c'est des choses qui sont, je trouve, qui sont sous-estimées aussi en bushcraft ou en survie. Tu sais, le monde aime ça parler de un couteau, une hache, c'est quoi pour allumer un feu, tout ça. C'est cool, c'est très important. Mais un pot, c'est vraiment important. S'il y a 3 items, j'en ai fait quelques fois des sorties 3 items, c'est pas mal ça. C'est un pot, de quoi pour couper, puis de quoi pour t'allumer un feu. T'sais. Mais le pot pour purifier ton eau, cuire, n'importe quoi. L'hydratation est vraiment importante. Martin la rivière, ouais, je suis toujours dans ma cour. Je suis toujours installé. Mon installation est de plus en plus confortable. Là. Je fais des tests, puis là, ben, j'ai essayé, j'ai un nouveau poêle à bois, fait que j'ai fait le first burn, le premier brûlage. Puis, c'est plus gros, là, il y a comme un four dedans, fait que. From Plymouth, Maine, USA. Nice. Plymouth, and that's Maine, right? That's Maine. That's like south of Quebec, eh? That's like east side Maine. Maine, like I went there once or twice, but it's a beautiful area. Like I'd like to go there again for sure. Like you guys have like beautiful forests. It's similar to Quebec and stuff, but it's more southern, so there's some beautiful trees and stuff. Like I really liked Maine when I went there. UVA personnellement. Personnellement, je fais plus de bushcraft qu'en aussi. J'ai bien de la misère à maîtriser ma peur des animaux la nuit. Il y a toujours un entraîneur qui joue avec mes affaires la nuit. Hey Eric, nice to see a fellow Minnesotan. Maine or Minnesota?
Il vem chaud, pas chaud.
Veux-tu que je vienne te rejoindre? Ben. Yes. Oh, he says I speak English and Norwegian. Please pick one. Oh, Maine is Minnesota. Okay, I never went to Minnesota. Never really went to like a lot of different areas. I went like New Hampshire. I went Vermont, Maine, New York. Here south of Alberta, I want to go to Montana. That was actually a project that we had for this year. Just try to go to Montana. Went in Canada, like British Columbia, stuff like that. Okay, bonne nuit. Yeah, sorry for the switching of languages. Like it is what it is. I guess I'd have to try to do a chat that's only French, I guess, and put a French name or something. But oh well. Yeah, Minnesota. Yeah, I should come. Haggard, he was there earlier. Haggard Wilderness. I don't know if he's still there, but he's like in the Utah and the Windhouse Mountains and Nevada and stuff. That looks like an amazing area too, like lots of desert and stuff. And yeah, what I've seen is not too different from Maine, except instead of the Atlantic Ocean, we have Lake Superior. Yeah, j'ai hâte de voir tes prochaines vidéos. Martin, les prochaines vidéos, ça va être les collets à lièvre. J'ai attrapé quelques lièvres avec les collets que j'ai mis. Fait que je vais montrer ça, puis après ça, je montre un peu plus mon poêle en détail. Mais merci d'écouter, puis bonne soirée. Yes. Oh. Do you guys know what this is? What the name of this tool is? Like the legitimate name, or what you call it, I guess, and what it's used for. Qu'est-ce qu'il fait, chat? Il veut pas rentrer? Charles is having too much fun outside. He doesn't want to come inside. What do you guys think this is? So it's got an axe handle. This one is a shorter one. This one is like a hatchet size. A little bit longer than a hatchet, actually. Like it's like, yeah, that's a nice size actually. Whacking holes in maple trees. Yeah, it's called yes, Martin, c'est-tu un pic à bois? Oui, c'est un pic à bois. So it's in French we call it a pick, but in English I learned this like a couple months ago actually. It's called a hookaroon or a pickaroon. I don't know. It's a weird name for in English, but it's basically it's a log pick. So it helps you to gather your wood, or if you have a log, you just stick it in the log, and then you can pull your log. Or if you have like even like 16-inch pieces, instead of bending down and gripping it with your fingers, you can just plant this in it, lift it up like the first few inches, and then grab it with your other hand and put it in. Or if you're like unloading in the box of a truck and you don't want to like go in the truck, you can reach a little bit farther and then pull all your logs out and you get some more speed. I have another one too that has like a super long handle, like a 4 or 5 feet handle, and that's what it's handy for like grabbing out of the truck or whatever. Fait que c'est ça, c'est un pic à bois. And this one is one that my dad made actually, so it's all kind of handmade, and it's a stainless steel. So you recycled like an old axe, and then it's basically forge this just like an axe, rounded, and then weld this piece on it. And then these are interchangeable points, so you can change them whenever they break. But these are the kind of tools that lumberjacks would use, and I like to use them. And my dad would use them when we'd go cut some firewood at the cabin and bring back for burning and stuff. So I think they're handy. I haven't made really like wood cutting or lumberjack type videos. I will do some, like I'm cutting some wood, and I have a couple of chainsaws and stuff, so I want to do some. I don't know if that's the kind of thing that you guys would be interested in, but I think that would be a cool video. I did cut and fell the tree when I did my birch bark canoe last year, collecting the bark. So I showed pretty much good detail, kind of the felling technique with the wedges and stuff in the back. But I only cut that one tree for the bark. But you have to be really careful when you cut it because you don't want to damage the tree or anything. But yeah, I like cutting wood. It's a good little activity, and it's outside and it's outdoors. Hello. We go through about 4.5 cores a year. I need one of those. Yeah, like Husqvarna, because I was looking, because a friend of mine, he was cutting wood and had a good spot for birch. So I went with him, and then I brought this, and he was like, "Oh, like that's neat." Like he didn't really know what they were, and then so I searched it. I was like, "What's the English name for it?" Because I would just call it a pick à bois, like in French. I would just use it when I was in Quebec speaking French. So we searched it, and yeah, it's hookaroon, and Husqvarna makes one. But I don't know if it works good. Like these are the ones my dad made, and they work really good. So I'm not gonna go and buy one. But and that I saw like the points don't have an interchangeable point. But I never really broke a point, so it probably, I'm sure it would work good. But there's lots of different brands and stuff. But yeah, I think we'll probably go through, because I got a wood stove for the house this year, so I think we'll probably go about 5-6 cores. Like I'm burning some wood now in the tent too, but I think we'll probably do about that 4.5 cores. Something similar. My dad used to use it for grabbing firewood, so he didn't have to bend down as much. Yeah, exactly. So there's this one is more like of an axe handle, but the hookaroon, or maybe this is more the pickaroon because it's a pick. But the hookaroon, so there's one with it's an actual pick that you grab with one hand, and it's got a hook on it, an actual hook, kind of like Captain Hook, I guess. And then you can use that, and those work good too. But you get a little bit less range. This one you get more range, but you have a little bit less good grip. So I feel like the hooks are good for when they're really big logs and you need to like pull with both hands or lift. But these with just the handle, I feel like they're good for your 16-inch logs. I guess the hooks used to. It just depends of kind of like personal habit and personal preference, I guess. But they both were good, and it's the same kind of idea. Hello, where in Minnesota? This is what I was finding. April. Eric Romo has a question. I'm in range just northeast of Grand Rapids. Well, guys, I think we're gonna call this a night. It's 9:50 here, so it's almost 10 o'clock. So we should try to get our son to bed and relax a bit. So, anyways, I want to thank everyone if you were here for a while, like April there and Eric and stuff. And hey, like I don't know if I can pronounce that Abdur. Sorry, but we're gonna have to cut this short, I guess. But non, tu veux pas qu'on rentre? Tu veux rester? Well, looks like Isabel wants to stay. Well, I guess I might stay longer. I don't know. Humble Woodsman, what were you gonna say? You retracted your message. I want to know. But hey, Humble, I have something similar. Yeah. Bonne fin de soirée et merci pour la tonne d'infos que tu nous as donné ce soir. Ben, de rien, Martin, bonne fin de soirée, puis ça fait plaisir. Puis je trouve que c'est bon des lives comme ça, c'est un peu moins formel. Fait que je peux plus me permettre de parler un peu plus français, même si c'est comme peut-être tannant. Mais en tout cas, merci pour tes questions, puis bonne soirée. Alright, so Martin's gone. He appreciates it. Like he's a French subscriber, and he appreciates all the info. So when I kind of started my channel, I was really debating if I should do an English or a French channel. But I was in Alberta here, and my English was kind of rusty, I guess, when I started, because I was mostly French. But I decided to go English just to, get a little bit more of a bigger kind of audience and stuff. But I like French. Like, French is my native language, so I mean, it is what it is. Like, I like French, so there's a big audience there too, I guess, in French. Like, I could probably do a decent, channel, and I'd have a lot of good viewers and stuff. But I don't know. If you got the ability, why not do both? You have two dedicated audiences. Yeah, I could. Like, I did a few videos that were in French this summer. But to do like my bigger videos that are the videos that most people watch and enjoy are the overnighters, and it takes like huge amounts of energy to do and edit and stuff. And when I do one, like, I want it to be good and to appeal to a bigger audience kind of thing, so I do it in English. What I could do is speak one phrase or whatever, and then do the same sequence or the same scene and do the other phrase. So do both languages kind of as I go, and then I would end up with two videos with one outing, but it would be the same outing, and then I could post two separate videos. And I did it a few times, which were not actual overnight outings. I did it a few times. It was interesting. Like, it worked, but it gets really confusing. Like, not confusing, but it's like, it's one thing filming and narrating. Like, that already takes like a lot of concentration. But then it's another thing, like, you're by yourself, so you gotta film, and then you gotta find like interesting things to say, and then you gotta like actually do your stuff, like survive and get your stuff done, like your food, and like get where you are and whatnot. And like, there's some videos that I do that I don't really talk much either, just because I don't really feel like it. But it would work. It would work for sure. But I also have like a job. Like, YouTube's not like my main thing. Like, I have to work as well, so it's more of like a pastime and a hobby kind of thing. So at this point in time, like, I don't feel like I want to go like full-time YouTuber or anything. I could, like, it might be cool. Like, I can't say I wouldn't like it. Like, it would be interesting, but I do enjoy my other job and stuff, and it's a little bit more stable, or it's a little bit more like a normal, I guess you would say. Like, it's kind of something, it's cool. Like, hey, what's up, John? How's it going? Bear Lake Bushcraft Company. Yes. What's up? Drinking a High Horse White IPA. John's a good friend. We did a few videos together and do some outings together. Yeah, that makes sense. It seems like a lot of work, like, I can see how two would add a lot. Yeah, we're just talking about. Hey, John, I copied your stove. I finally got a stove like yours. John is the one who kind of made me realize how cool it was to have a wood stove with like an actual oven in it. Like, he bought one and stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, that's so cool. Like, I gotta have like a wood stove like that. So I asked him, like, do you like it? He's like, yeah, it's awesome. And so I bought one, and I just did the first burn, John, like today. So I didn't like cook anything in it. I don't know how long I should wait, like, for all that stuff to kind of burn out of it before I use the oven. I guess I could now, but see, so we're hanging out in the backyard. Yeah, if it wouldn't be for the whole pandemic and stuff, me and John would probably do an outing together. Be awesome. We did that last year. It was awesome. I slept in the super shelter, the portable super shelter, the Kelly Harleton Hacienda. It was awesome. John says these stoves have very little oil and no paint. That's true. Good to go now. Yeah, like initially it smoked, but it's not bad. Like, it's awesome. I started it probably around like 2 hours ago. Now I'm just using it for heat, but probably tomorrow we'll try to cook something in here. Or you know what, New Year's Eve, I could maybe do like sausage wrapped in bacon. That would be good in this stove. I think that would be really good. I'm trying to kind of like see what's going on in the chat. This is the first live that I do, but camping. Even the last one we did like a month ago was good. I'm too bad I kind of built and I only went one night. But biscuits are good. High heat and short cooking time. Yeah, biscuits. I gotta explore that, like biscuits. I did like bannock and stuff, but I know biscuits are kind of more of a traditional / kind of like cowboy type meal that's probably easy and like outdoorsy that you can kind of do on a campfire and stuff with coffee and like, yeah, I gotta do biscuits. You guys have anyone like watching that has any good like ideas or recipes to do in the oven, in the wood stove oven? Oh, John says, I'll teach you how to make buttermilk biscuits. Yeah, John, you gotta do a video on it. I can watch the video. Oh, what? Say John. John's saying all the ideas. Yeah, Isabel says, oh, that's a great idea to ask if people have like good recipe ideas. What are your guys like recipe ideas for the wood stove, or even like for the holidays, like more traditional food that you guys will do? Like we did donuts today. Like that's I didn't really know, but in my family they did that. Like my grandmother would do that at home, and Isabel, my wife's grandmother, would do that too. So she kind of took it upon us to do some donuts around Christmas time. And this year, since we're not traveling or seeing anybody or anything, like we're just kind of enjoying it to do some more like home recipes or traditional stuff. Like I did the rabbit snares, and we'll do some meat pies and stuff. So that's the kind of stuff that I would do younger, like as a kid and stuff. And it's good. Like I think it's kind of like a time now for nostalgia and stuff. Like a lot of people are like that because there's a lot of things that we can't do anymore, but at the same time you got to do the best with what you have. So you go back to like the good memories, and then oh no, Charles is cold. Well, gotta add a bit of wood. Charles, he doesn't sleep. He doesn't like talk very loud. So we tell him like talk louder, and then he's just like, hey, he just like screams. Like there's no in between like talk loud or like affirm what you want to say, and just. But he's learning to talk, and he's learning 2 languages at the same time too. Harry, on va chauffer, Okay, so I'm just opening the whole door. Yeah, we're pretty much on coals right now. Fortunately, you can't see that. Oh no, it looks like we lost connection again. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I think I lost you guys again. Anyways, I gotta put some wood in here. John, are you in your tent? Or what are you doing? Are you just hanging out? La poêle ou le four ou de la tente? Un peu, on va y faire une tournée. It's been a while since I kind of showed around the tent. Après, dans la tente, là, ça fait un bout que je l'ai montré quand j'ai comme commencé la vidéo. Mais...
Écoute, parce que je suis pas capable d'aller voir les vidéos comment. Ah, fait que c'est pour ça que je t'ai dit ça. Ok. Ah oui, c'est mon frère. Ah bon? Ça, ok. Ça, c'est mon frère.
Piece is a little bit long. Okay, on va faire le tour. Making a sourdough pizza dough. Oh, nice. Has to sit for 48 hours. Nice. Ok, check bien ça. Check bien ça. Je vais te montrer dans la housse un peu. Je vais regarder mon ordi. Out of this tent is not big enough. Uh-oh. Ok, bon. Ça, c'est la belle. Donc, il y a un lit. Hi. So there's one bed on this side. This tent is like a pentagon, so it's 5 sides. The tent là, c'est comme, I'll do it in French and then I'll do it in English. Cette tent là, c'est comme un pentagone. Donc là, moi, je suis assis sur un lit là. Là, c'est l'autre lit qui est dans le centre. Les 3 lits. Là, on a plein de bois puis tout en dessous des lits. Puis le poêle à bois qui est au centre. Here, raised beds, cots. So you got, it's kind of, is there a letter that has the shape that would be easy to explain? So it's kind of doing like I got 2 cots like this, and then one of what? Okay, let's see what we got for comment. Supper on Monday night. Also, main operate YouTube Huh? Is it out? So that the door is right there. Mais vu que c'est une tente assez petite, c'est 10 par 10 pieds. Fait que pour mettre le troisième lit, il fallait comme bloquer la porte. So since it's a smaller tent, like 10 by 10, we had to block the door to get the third cot in there. So this is, I'd say 10 by 10 is like ideal for 2 people. You know, you have lots of room, and then you can have like an open area for the door and stuff. I think you kind of covered it for the ones that, yeah, there's 2 people, April and Eric, they're just chatting, which is awesome in the chat. And it looks like they're recommending some good like hot tenting channels and stuff. Fortunately, I don't really have time to watch that many channels or videos because I'm mostly editing my own or kind of working or looking at, you know, just friends and stuff on Facebook or YouTube. Like I'll watch a little bit. I used to watch a little bit more, but recently I haven't really watched that many other channels. I try to watch some friends and some people that leave comments and stuff. I'll go and I'll kind of look at their stuff, and I'll try to answer comments too. Like I'll have every day, like I don't have like tons of comments like every day. I'll have out of like most of my videos, I'll have like 2, 3, 4, 5 new comments. And just about random stuff. So I'll try to answer everybody that comments my videos and kind of answer some questions. But if I get to go out ice fishing or hunting, I do. So I did like hunting for rabbits the last week or so. The white-tailed deer season for us is in November, but I didn't get out this year. I decided to cut wood mostly, to be honest. I mostly cut firewood instead. I just gotta close the air intake here because it's getting really warm now. But like hunting with YouTube, like I can't really show that much hunting stuff because a lot of it's not necessarily family friendly, I guess, or it's not the best for. So that's kind of the hunting. Like I'd like to show more. And I'd like to get out more. Like I got out a lot with my dad when I was younger. But this year it didn't really work out that much for hunting. And then ice fishing, I go out a little bit, but not like tons. I'm hoping to get out probably the next few days here. Things I wanted to do kind of on the holidays on my list were that, like snare some rabbits. Then I wanted to set up this new stove, do a video on that. I would like to get an overnight camp done with the tent and stuff, but seems like I mostly did it in the yard, and then I'm enjoying it with the family and stuff, so that's pretty good too. Ice fishing I want to do, so that's pretty much it. And then like I'd like to do a bit of skiing too. We don't have enough snow yet, so we can't really do skiing. April says, yeah, wood cutting is a legit priority. Yeah, because like the wood stove we got it installed this year, so I had no wood at all. So a lot of the wood that I have gathered this year, as you know, you gotta let it dry for a year. So I'm mostly planning for next year, and then I gotta scout out some trees that I can. Oh, yeah. I heat it up too much. It's like so hot. Hello from Australia. Hey, from Australia. My brother's in Australia. He's in Perth area, Perth. I only have one brother, by the way, and yeah, he's in Australia. So that's awesome. Leilani, I hope I'm saying that right. Fralish, thanks for joining, and hopefully you enjoy the videos or the live stream. Please come to Minnesota. You're always welcome. Well, sounds good. I'd like to, for sure. Je vous souhaite une bonne fin de soirée en famille pour ce meeting en direct. Merci pour toutes les réponses aux questions en français. C'est bien intéressant. Bonne nuit. Bonne soirée. Merci. Bonne nuit. What is your first name? I'm Steve. My first name's Steve, by the way. Sorry. I always forget to introduce myself. I just go right to the point, like, that makes sense about hunting and YouTube, but that's what I really like about your videos. Everything you do is incredibly interesting and accessible. You're a good teacher. Well, thanks. I try to mix it up, like, I mix it up not really for the videos, mostly just because I do the videos as a hobby and for fun. So a lot of the stuff that I'll do is for fun, and then I'm like, oh, like this would do a cool video, and then I do a video. But I always try to keep it like outdoorsy and kind of like outdoor stuff. But if YouTube would be more like my job, I'd probably be more targeting like the things that pay a lot or that make views. But to the point where I'm at right now, that's not really what I'm doing. Like, I mostly do what I enjoy doing, what I have time to do, and then if I can do like a few cool overnighters or like projects that I feel like might get a lot of views or whatever, like, I'll do it. But that's not the priority. Like, and I want to keep it like fun and interesting for people too. And like birch bark canoes. Hi Steve, Eric. Hey Eric. Thanks. Like birch bark canoes is kind of a passion of mine, and I feel like it's such a lost art that it needs to be rediscovered, and it needs to be not saved, but like there's good books and stuff, like it's accessible. But I feel like there's not enough out there about birch bark canoes, so I built some, and then I want to share some stuff. But it's not a thing. Like, so far I got a few views and stuff for videos, but it's not like it takes so much work. But it's mostly just because I enjoy it, and a lot of the stuff that I do videos that's why. It's just because I enjoy it and I want to get people interested in it. The door gasket is wearing out on our wood stove, so I understand. Too hot. 81 degrees in our house right now. Oh, yeah. His wife's channel. De quoi? Non, mais à cause qu'il y a deux personnes qui jasent entre eux, tu sais. Ils jasent entre eux, ouais. Where are you? It's hotter than hell in Australia right now. Yeah, here I'm in Canada, so it's like winter. It's -8 degrees Celsius right now. We got a little bit of snow, not tons, but a little bit. But usually for this time of year here, it's like -20, -25. So right now we're kind of enjoying it not being too cold yet, because that gets kind of rough. Like, everything freezes and the vehicles won't start, and you gotta scratch the windows of your car. And one time it was -40, and I had like a smaller car. This is in Quebec, and I hit an ice block. But because, like, what happens, like, the bigger trucks, ice builds up like behind the tires, and then it builds up, and then it falls on the road. But this was like, when it's like -40, like, it's frozen solid like a rock. And like I was just driving, and this is like in the city. It's not even like in the bush or anything. Like, and then I see like this, and I'm like, oh, this will be like a softer type ball or whatever, and it'll go like underneath the car. But no, like it hit perfectly my oil pan, and it just like split the thing. And the oil pan was like aluminum, which is also very brittle in the cold. So it just like it shattered it, and then I had to get a tow truck and stuff, and it was like super cold, and we were freezing. And I think it was like the weekend too. But yeah, there's a Canadian story for you with the cold. That's actually how I found your channel. I was working on a project where I had birch bark, and the YouTube algorithm said you my way. Oh, that's cool. I need to get my model canoe done. Yeah, John, I'm helping him out a little bit with a model canoe. I was talking, I don't know, John, if you were here, but I was talking a little bit about Morris Kohansky earlier in the Morris bush pots. But Morris did birch bark canoes as well. And John like knew and knows a lot of stuff about Morris anyways, and then John was like, oh, like that's cool, and that was something that Morris did and that I do. So he's building one right now. Oh, minus 11 now, so it's getting cooler. It was minus 8 earlier, but minus 11 now. We're in the same city, me and John, with Bear Lake Bushcraft, so y a-t-il un fond dans ta tente ou c'est direct avec le sol? C'est direct avec le sol. So someone's asking French if there's something at the bottom. So it's directly on the ground right now, as just you can see the grass. C'est direct au sol. En ce moment, on voit le gazon. Fait que c'est comme ça commence à être boiteux un peu là. Le jeu des Wistiti, il fait ça encore trop chaud? Ok, moi c'est parce que je suis comme à côté. Well, thanks, Eric. Appreciate it. The first live stream. I guess it's been already 2 hours that I'm here, but that's cool. I'm having a good time anyways, so if other people are, that's good. Awesome. Isabel says, oh, we feel like other people are here with us. On se sent pas tout seul, on est avec d'autres mondes, c'est fun. This tent here is a 10 by 10, and that's the thing, like you can do some things with other people, but like it's a little bit too tight. Like you can have like 1 or 2 friends, but like you don't have that much room. So I think with a bigger tent that I'm looking at, probably 12 by 15 or 12 by 17 that I'm looking at, will be good. Moins minus 11. Loves the family vibe. John, if you're at blocked in a step or whatever, or if you have any questions, call or send me some photos on Facebook there of your model canoe, and then I can help you out or whatever. We can't really do much for in-person like presence now with the measures we have, which is kind of a bummer, but I'm sure we could figure something out. John, the last time I seen it, you were at the I think I'm gonna move to the other chair because it's too warm here. You can see I'm sweating. But the last time you were on the gunwale lashings, is that, yeah, that's what it's called, the gunwale lashings. So those are kind of the things you got to get those done, and then sew the stem pieces. So both ends of the canoe have that. It's a laminated piece of wood that goes in the middle, and then it closes in between the two barks, and then you just lash. You can do like in the Edwin Tapanani book called the Skin Boats and the Bark Canoes and Skin Boats of North America. There's a lot of good examples of different stitching or different styles that you want to do. But the one I was doing with John, he was doing it based off of one of Morris' models, a simple lashing. Oh yeah, this is a little bit better. So it's just like a simple spiral lashing. Get some more roots, yeah. So you're working on it in your tent. That's awesome. Yeah, because like once you do those, the gunwale lashing, so you'll do the two stem pieces. So you do those, and the trick with those, so you'll put that shape, so that shape's rounded. So you put it in the canoe where you want it, and you want to leave like a certain space from the end of the inside frame. So I think like probably usually on a full-size canoe, I think it'd be about 10 inches. So since you're doing it 1/5, it'd probably be like 2 inches. So you'll have the front in whale, which is the inside frame, and then it finishes. Then you'll have 2 inches, and then you'll put that piece there. And then what I do is I just put it in there, and then I clamp it with clamps, and then you start slowly shaving down bark. So you need to cut the bark to the right shape so that it marries the shape of your rounded stem piece, and then you can do your lashing once you're happy with that shape that it gives you. Quand tu auras la chance de refaire du camping d'hiver, vas-tu apporter ton nouveau poêle ou ton Alaskan? Je sais pas, ça va dépendre de quelle tente que j'ai. J'espère avoir ma plus grosse tente probablement autour du mois de février-mars. Fait que ça va être avec la grosse tente puis le gros poêle avec le four. Mais j'irai pas très très loin. On va probablement essayer de faire un camping familial avec Charles, mon fils, et Isabelle. Fait que ça va être avec la grosse tente. Si j'y vais avec la petite tente, la 10 par 10, ça va être avec le Alaskan que je vais apporter. Eric Romo, what is your son's name? Charles is his name, Charles. So yeah, it'll be good. Like once you get those in, the stems and the gunwales, the lashings. The next step, like after that, like is pretty exciting because it's like the ribs and the sheathing that'll go in. Or you would gum, but I don't think you're gonna want to gum it because it's a model. But you would put spruce gum on the inside of the bark, all of the inside, and then you'd prepare your ribs and your sheathing for that. Like if you don't have any, or if you can find some, we'll need like some really thin splits for the sheathing and then the ribs as well. I think he used black spruce to do the ribs and the sheathing. So if you could find a nice like 3 foot or maybe 4 foot or probably 2 or 3 feet would be big enough, and then you could like split it as thin as possible to make that sheathing. Sam says, that's it, I'm doing this. Yes. Sam, what are you doing? Are you going camping? Doing winter camping? Are you doing like, are you planning to do like a bark project, like a canoe or something, or? See? Écoutais-tu la vidéo? Ben? Oh, salut Mathieu, salut Ariane. Yes. Ils font un beau bonjour. Merci d'écouter. Yes. Je parle pas tant en français, là. J'ai quelques questions en français. Mais c'est bon, je parle pas trop vite en anglais. Fait I got a throw to split it out. Yeah, that'll work good. Like that. Looks like you're camping. Pretty much camping, Michael. I'm not camping very far. I'm pretty much like near the house. But I'm with my son here and Isabel, and we're just, the main thing is to have some fun right now and just to get Charles used to being in the tent, and Isabel as well. Like before, like a week ago, she knew it was cool and stuff in the tent, but she didn't think it was this comfortable. So now I'm getting her convinced as much as possible that, hot tenting is awesome. So once that's accomplished and we can sleep, like yesterday was the first time Charles was sleeping in the tent. So and he got up in the morning, so it wasn't 100% success, but it was still really good, like considering that he's like 3.5 years old. That what woke him up is that. Huh? Ouais.